So we are here once again, day 2 of Wood Wars, and we'll get things started bright and early here, an 8:30 a.m. matchup between the LSU Tigers and the Kansas Jayhawks. If you know anything about this one, these are two teams that went head-to-head just last season in the Wood Wars Championship. Kansas will be leading us off, and we're set to get underway. It'll be Owen McGovern leading off here for the Jayhawks. And McGovern leaves it for ball 1 to start things off. So after the 7-4 win last night, Kansas looking to make it 2 from 2, facing a very good LSU team. As McGovern skies that one, hooking foul, it'll just get out of play. Count going even at 1 here. We are bright and early here on a nice, comfortable day here in Sterlington, the second day of this tournament. It was a late night last night and early morning this morning. So for Kansas, they'll have to see how they can handle this. That's left up high for McGovern for ball 2. The same lineup as yesterday for Kansas. Max Rosencrans taking the hill for the Jayhawks, though, after Andrew Faulkner went 5 shutout last night against the Texas A&M Corps of Cadets, as that's left up high, and it's a 3-1 hitters count here to the shortstop early on. Now, if you're tuned in, let me know in the chat how the camera looks, how you can see everything. I can make some adjustments in between innings if we need. Here's the 3-1. Up high, ball 4, and Owen McGovern starts us off with a walk. So that'll bring up Tyler Bermundo. Hit a big-time triple last night, stole a bag, almost threw out the runner at home to end the ball game. But Bermundo will look to stay hot. Nearly helped Kansas win the Swing It Hitters Challenge last night after the game was over. That was live streamed here. Now he'll look to start things off. Fouls off the first offering. It's 0-1. Shared a hotel room with Tyler last night. Made fun of him because he almost pushed me off the bed. Was laying in the direct middle of the bed for most of the night. Tried to wake him up, didn't work. Contemplated sleeping on the floor at about 3 a.m. this morning. Ended up getting a couple hours of sleep. That's life on the road, as that's left up high, and the count goes even 1-1. Always eventful, exploring Sterlington and Monroe last night after our ball game concluded. Trying to find some food. We settled on some Taco Bell, which is one of the major food groups of many college students. Always a college delicacy, as that's left outside 2-1. So Bermundo working the count, watching, waiting for his pitch, and looking to do some damage here. And I've realized that I need to come up with some new catchphrases. I'm saying doing some damage quite a bit, as that's gonna run on in and hit him. Bermundo wears it, and all of a sudden, there's 2 aboard for Alex Raylene. So another guy that competed in that hitters challenge last night. Kansas finishing second, just behind the Texas A&M Aggies, who won it once again. And there's going to be a little chat here from the Tigers, trying to get a little recentered here in the top of the first. It's a big-time opportunity for Alex here to give the Jayhawks an early lead. Hawks fired up in the dugout, as that's called for strike 1. Raylene leaving it, didn't like it. As Kansas continuing to try and run up that pitch count. We'll play another 7 today, and the Jayhawks hope it'll be a full distance 7, as that runs inside for ball number 1. And as I glance at this, I realize it's probably hard to see third base and the left side of the field. So in between innings, I'll make sure we can get that adjusted. Both runners think about going. They hold off. And while they do that, I'll actually take the opportunity to adjust the camera. A little shaky there, but that might be a little better. It does look a little crooked on the stream. My apologies for that. The 1-1 is called strike 2, and Raylene didn't like that one. A close one on the corner. Looked like it could have moved outside, but the benefit of the doubt goes to the pitcher here, and it's 1-2. So Raylene looking for a pitch he likes, trying to take advantage of 2 runners on early. The 1-2 is going to be poked foul as he has to defend. So we keep the count the same. Still 1-2 here. 2 men aboard. Nobody out here in the top of the first for the Jayhawks. Looking to start things off hot. 1-2. Ooh, he steps off again. Owen McGovern out there at second, trying to play mind games with the pitcher. He's got him stepping off. And if you're on the hill, the biggest thing you want to avoid is getting too concentrated on the runner at second, forcing mental errors. Here's the 1-2. Is again fouled off, and we keep the same count. So after a late night game that ended right around 9 o'clock last night, Kansas up bright and early 11 and a half hours later. Let's go try and make it 2 from 2. The 1-2 again is jammed back up the middle. They're going to look to turn 2. They get the man at second, Bermundo. But Raylene reaches on a fielder's choice. And there's 1 down. So it'll be runners on the corners now for the big slugging first baseman, Justin Orloff. The third of 3 Jayhawks to compete in that Swing It Hitters Challenge last night. We'll see if that gives him any contribution, any sort of advantage as he comes to the dish right here. Yeah, it looks like we had a brief delay, but back and ready to roll here. 1 gone. Runners on the corners here for Orloff as the Jayhawks look to put up some early runs and pick up a crooked number in the first for the second game in a row. First offering to Orloff is grounded the other way. Good play. Steps on the bag. And it's 2. The Tigers get out of the jam, and we head to the bottom of the first, still scoreless. And it appears so the run will count. So a double play, but the Jayhawks still able to put up a crooked number. We head to the bottom of the first, 1-0 Kansas. So as we take a look at the defensive orientation here for the Jayhawks, everything staying the same as yesterday, except one change on the mound is Max Rosencrantz. So the same lineup we saw yesterday from Kansas. As LSU gets ready to get things going, I tinkered with the camera a little bit as its first pitch swinging. And that'll drop in for a leadoff single here for LSU. So the Tigers jump on the first pitch from Max Rosencrans. And Marcus Campbell is aboard here to lead things off for LSU. So Preston Ockman will come up here with an opportunity to advance that runner along. And here's the first offering from Rosencrans. He called for strike one, throw down, not in time. Campbell swipes second on the called strike one. Why is there one out? So the 0-1 here. Rosencrans fires. Left outside, and the count goes even. A close pitch. Very similar to the one that the umpire called for a strike back in the top of the first. And the count goes even, 1-1 here. That's left down low, ball 2. So Max Rosencrans, last time out against Kansas State, gave up a 4 spot in the first, but found his groove and ended up throwing 4 shutout following that, as the Jayhawks took game 2 of that 3-game sweep. He's looking for another big day today, and he'll have to work around some early traffic. That's going to run in, and he's going to wear it. He wears it, and there's 2 aboard here in the bottom of the first. So Caleb Pepper here with an opportunity. He's got a man sitting on second, 2 runners aboard, and nobody out here to start us off. Some positive chatter in the infield for the Jayhawks as they try to reassure Rosencrans. His first offering to Pepper is left outside for ball 1. Just missing outside. Why is it still top 1? What the fuck am I doing? Oh. Apologies for that. Sometimes you forget you're hot mic'd. Skied up on the infield. And not going to get down. Owen McGovern hauls that one in. And there's 1 down. So 1 down now for Taylor Simonow. As Rosencrans will look to pitch his way out of the traffic. First offering to Simonow. Runs inside, called ball 1. So Kansas quickly jumped on the core of Cadets last night, put up 5 quick runs in the first 3 innings, but cooled off. As that's going to be popped foul, and the count will go even 1-1. So Simonow, the catcher, as that's left outside, and it's 2-1. Simonow behind the plate for the Tigers today. And hitting in this cleanup spot, he'll look to drive the run in, sitting on second. There's some speed out there, as Campbell already stole second after after picking up the leadoff single. As that's going to run in, and Rosencrans tagged him. It's going to be 2 aboard. I'm sorry, it'll load the bases. So it'll be bases loaded with 1 away. And the Jayhawks are going to have to work out of a jam here as Gus Padilla comes up with an opportunity to really hang a crooked number on Kansas. So after the odd end of the top of the first with Orloff grounding into a non-forced double play, as that's left outside for ball one. Orloff grounding into the non-forced double play that allowed the run to score. LSU with an opportunity here to jump on the Jayhawks. 1-0. As that's behind him. Here comes Campbell. No throw, and LSU ties this game at 1. Charlie Marshall did a good job of covering that one. But Campbell with the head first slide, and we are all tied up here in the bottom of the first. So Gus Padilla still with 2 on, now both runners in scoring position as that's outside. It'll be 3-0. And that's called for strike 1, so Rosencrans getting 1 back here. Still a hitter's count though, and you have to assume the green light most likely on here. So Rosencrans trying to work his way around the damage early. 3-1. Called strike 2. Padilla didn't like that one, but the count goes full 3-2. A close one that just caught the corner, and all of a sudden the count has gone full. Max Rosencrans trying to work his way back from the early hole of the 3-0 count. Left outside, ball 4, and that'll walk him loaded once again. So Nolan Brody here will come up looking to continue this first inning here for LSU. Still only 1 away here. LSU looking to reassert their dominance after last year's victory here in Sterlington. Kansas looking for revenge. And that's called for strike 1. So we'll see if Max Rosencrans can find his way out of this jam early. Not the start he wanted, but we'll see if he can rally back. That moves inside, ball 1. Swung through, strike 2. And Rosencrans will look to find his way out of this one here. The Jayhawk dugout trying to give him some words of encouragement to keep him grounded here. The 1-2. Left outside. And we go even at 2. So 2-2 with nowhere to put Brody here. And Rosencrans looking for a big-time strikeout or a big-time double play. We talked last night about the double play and about Astros ace Framber Valdez as that's left outside and the count goes even. And how much Valdez loves that double play ball, calls it his bestie, and right now Rosencrans would sure love to get one of those besties here. Count is full with nowhere to put Brody. The payoff pitch is called ball 4. Might have just missed. And there's going to be time here. A second run scores off the walk. And they're going to go out and chat with Max Rosencrans here in a 2-1 ball game. We'll take a break. So we are back here, 2-1 LSU, bottom one here. And John Jardine will have an opportunity here to continue putting up runs. Rosencrans chatting with a few Jayhawks to try and recenter himself as Jardine can't connect. And he swung out of his shoes on that one, nearly lost the bat. You don't see that every day. So the 0-1 here from Rosencrans is in the dirt, ball one. LSU, much like the Jayhawks from the top of the first, doing a good job of working the count and really trying to prolong this inning. Lengthy at bats as Jardine's going to hammer that one towards center field. Bermundo coming on. He'll make the play. Here comes the throw home. Just offline. Another run scores. That'll make it 3-1 LSU here on the sacrifice fly from John Jardine. And the LSU players calling him the John Somble. Quite a nickname. So that'll bring Trey Barksdale to the dish here. Runners on first and second with 2 away.
Good morning to Go Hawks.
Apologies, had to fix the scoreboard real quick. So 2-1 here. And that's left inside. Count will go 3-1. So a hitter's count here to Trey Barksdale with 2 on and 2 gone. The 3-1 is grounded foul. Orloff ranged over, and that'll make the count full, 3-2. Rosencrans looking to get out of the inning. LSU looking to prolong it here. Rosencrans looking for the sign. Comes set. The payoff pitch is outside, ball 4. And we're loaded once again with 2 away. Ryan Trahan here with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Looking to cap off an inning that would see LSU bat around. And that's called strike 1 to start things off. As that's skied out toward left, Camacho going back. Camped under it, and that'll end the frame. A rocky start to the day for the Jayhawks, and unfortunately a bit of a rocky start here in the booth. We go to the second, 3-1 LSU. So back here for the top of the second, LSU, a crooked number in the bottom of the first. And Peter Duma will lead us off for the Jayhawks as they look to rally back into this one. Duma played well at the hot corner yesterday, and he'll look to put together another nice performance today. He steps in, and we are underway here in the top of the second. First pitch he sees, he leaves outside, and the count goes 1-0. And the Jayhawks leaving it for the Birds. The 1-0 here. Ooh, that runs inside, nearly caught him. Both teams struggling a little bit with hitting batters, as they've both tagged a few here in the first inning, and now here in the top of the second, that nearly caught Duma. He swings through that one for strike one, the high cheese. He was all over it, just couldn't make contact. Called strike two. That one right at the knees. And they count quickly to 2-2. So the hometown Tigers just a few hours away as Duma pokes that one over towards poked over towards second. Corralled, and there's one down. So Duma grounds out, and that'll bring Ben McDonald to the dish. McDonald, a couple timely base hits last night to get the offense going for the Jayhawks. We'll see if he can find another one here in the top of the second. Left in the dirt for ball one to start us off. As that stays out, and it's 2-0 here. Now the 2-0 here. Left outside, 3-0, and we'll see if the green light is on here for Ben McDonald. McDonald looking to get something going here. The 3-0. Up high, ball four, and it's a one-out walk here for Kansas. Ben McDonald taking a stroll on down to first, and that'll bring up Mr. President himself. Shayton Wright coming to the dish. He'll look to inflict some damage. Wright wore one off the helmet last night. I'm sure he's up there hoping that doesn't happen for a second day in a row, as that's called for strike one. The Tiger faithful happy with that call, the called strike one here. Now the 0-1 to Wright. And it's called for strike two. So right behind 0-2 in the count here. And now he's got to defend. Looking for a sign now, the 0-2. Left outside, he'll get one back here, it's 1-2. A good job of blocking it behind the plate. That gets by, and McDonald is on his way to second, but it's corralled by Simoneau. Now the 1-2 to Wright is laced back up the middle. That's going to get through for a base hit. McDonald on his way to third. No throw. I'm sorry, the throw not in time. Heads up base running from Shayton Wright. And it's second and third with one out. He lines one right back up the middle. McDonald dug around for third. And Shayton Wright paying attention and making sure he was able to dig for second. So that'll bring Charlie Marshall, the catcher, up here. Marshall hit a triple against Kansas State to drive in some runs and tie that game, actually allowing Wright to score and tie that game at 5 before the Jayhawks proceeded to run away with that one. That was a 9-5 final score. 9-5 like I'm Dolly Parton, you might say. His first offering to Marshall, spiked in the dirt. Last night I made a joke about singing when it started raining, and I could make that same joke today about singing 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton. It's a great song. I could go on a long tangent about music and my enjoyment of Dolly Parton. Very good singer, as that's just up high into the zone for strike one. But Charlie Marshall, the man behind the plate today, looking to try and drive in a run here with one out. One ball, one strike, one out. Is grounded foul. And McDonald had to jump out of the way there. So it's back to the wall here for Charlie Marshall, having to defend with 2 strikes on him. So the 1-2 here to Marshall. Is lined the other way. That's over his head. 1 run around to score. Here comes right to the plate. No throw. Charlie Marshall ties this game again. Another timely base hit from the catcher. And it's 3-3. Charlie Marshall clearing the bases with a single. And just like he did against Kansas State, the man behind the plate comes up huge for Kansas. So Ryan Camacho will step in here after the confusion. The California kid with an opportunity to keep things going here in the top of the second in a 3-3 ball game all of a sudden. First pitch spiked in the dirt. Marshall will take off, and he'll trot into second with ease. Now a runner in scoring position for Kansas here. Camacho, one of 2 Golden State natives on this roster, alongside the man they call the Iron Dome, Tyler Bermundo. That's a nickname trademark of me. Safe to say he is a fan of it. As Camacho grounds that one the other way. That's going to sneak through. Here comes Marshall around to score. Throw to the plate. Not in time. Charlie Marshall hustling from second and giving the Jayhawks the lead. Ryan Camacho knocks one through. Marshall hustling home from second. And Kansas has come charging on back, and that's going to cause a mound meeting here for LSU. So a meeting of the minds for the Tigers, as all of a sudden a 3 spot here in the second from the Jayhawks has them ahead 4-3. We'll take a break. So back after that meeting, and we're back to the top of the order for Kansas. Owen McGovern, who picked up a walk to lead us off, ended up scoring on the sacrifice fly. 4-3 Jayhawks, top 2 now. And that's left outside for ball 1. So the 1-0 here to the shortstop, McGovern, is called for strike 1. Just snuck inside there, and that'll even up the count once more. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. A lot of ones here in a 1-run ball game. Unfortunately, it is the top of the second and not the top of the first. That would have been the cherry on top. The 1-1 left high. He left it for the birds, and it's 2-1. So Kansas showing some resilience here in the top of the second, getting down in the early 3-1 hole, but plating everything they need to come charging right back, and they have an opportunity for more, the 2-1. Spiked in the dirt, bounced around. Camacho stays at first. So a 3-1 here, as the LSU fans now the ones trying to give some words of reassurance, trying to calm their pitcher down. Hitters count 3-1. Grounded the other way, but foul, and that'll fill up the count. So a big time spot here for LSU. Do not want to walk another man aboard, especially with Tyler Bermundo sitting on deck, trying to continue wreaking havoc on this tournament like he did last night. The payoff pitch here. Up high, ball 4. And that'll walk another man aboard. Now Tyler Bermundo with a chance to add on to this lead. Words of assurance from the dugout to be smart here for the senior outfielder. A JUCO transfer, Bermundo, coming from California. And here's the first offering for him. Knocked the other way. That's going to sneak through. Base hit. Here comes Camacho. Throw into third. Not in time. Heads up base running from Bermundo. He waves the wheat and stays hot. It's 5-3 Kansas in the California connection, continuing to add runs for the Jayhawks. So now Alex Raylene with 2 in scoring position and only 1 away. Another timely base hit for Kansas could keep adding things on as he leaves that one up high for ball 1. Shaping up to be an offensive shootout, like if some mid-2010s Big 12 football was played on a baseball field. As that's up high, ball 2. The breaking ball just not breaking. And it seems like some nerves out there now for Walt Seagreen on the mound for the Tigers, trailing in the count 2-0 here. Raylene just looking to get aboard here. The 2-0 is called for strike 1. Just caught that low and away corner, it appears. Kansas being very selective with their pitches here in the top of the second. Looking to keep this inning going. The 2-1 here is down low, 3-1. And it's hitters count once again with another run sitting 90 feet away. Mike Ray coaching third base this afternoon, or I'm sorry, this morning. Just like K-State, you know, sometimes I can't figure out my times. It is 9:12 a.m. here in Sterlington as the 3-1 moves inside. And that's another walk. That'll load him up. That'll load him up for Shrek. And somebody once told me it was time for a mound visit for LSU here. And it could be day done for Seagreen after 1 1/3. It sure will be. 1 1/3, 5 runs allowed. And he leaves them loaded. We'll take a break. So we are back now in a 5-3 ball game. The base is loaded and only one away for Justin Orloff, one of the guys who was swinging last night in the Hitter's Challenge. And the man they call Shrek is going to look to hit a swamp donkey right here. First pitch swinging. They're going to go home with it. And he's out at home, it looks like. An interesting call there. A close one, but they nab him. The bases stay loaded, but there's two down. So now with two away, it's back to the man that started this frame off. So Peter Duma led this inning off. And he'll look to do some more damage here in his second at-bat of the frame. A 4 spot for the Jayhawks, and the bases still loaded. First pitch in the dirt, ball 1. The Jayhawks getting fired up here off this momentum swing here in the top of the second. And here's the 1-0. Outside, ball 2. So the new pitcher in the game, Marcus Claudio here for the Tigers. And Claudio will look to work his way out of a bases loaded jam. The 2-0 is left, ball 3. A 3-0 count and nowhere to put Peter Duma here. LSU looking to avoid walking in another run. The 3-0 is called, ball 4. That'll drive in another. Ball 4 walking in a 5th run of the frame, and it's 6-3 Kansas. Bermundo trots on home. And Ben McDonald now will come up for his second at bat of the frame. First pitch taken inside for ball 1. So McDonald looking to pick up a 3-piece here and clear the bags, as that's left outside, ball 2. 2-0, and they'll have another chat here between pitcher and catcher. I'm sorry, that's not Claudio. That is Camden Trosclar. I'm unfortunately not sure how to pronounce that last name, but you give it a go. That's how it is. So they'll chat. McDonald ahead 2-0 here in the count, looking to find his way aboard and keep things going. The 2-0 to McDonald is called for strike 1. Catching the outside part of that zone and able to get one back here. So now here in a 2-1 count. The Jayhawk dugout getting loud here for Ben McDonald. Oh, a big time hack. He's unhappy. He just missed that one as it hung middle for him. They might call that pitch a cookie, but unfortunately unable to send it for a ride. Now it's 2-2. Foul back, and we stay even with the double-double here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top second. Lots of 2s. If you're an Austin Cindric fan, you love what you're hearing right now. And he's got to step off here. So the Jayhawks looking to prolong this inning, keep things going. The 2-2. Spiked in the dirt, and the count goes full. And just like it was with Duma, now the count full with nowhere to put Ben McDonald. Nods yes. The payoff pitch. Runners go, popped up, and it'll go foul. Didn't see where that one went, had to cover my head for a second. That'll wake you up a little. It's very active here at the Sterlington Sports Complex. Obviously last night when the Kansas game came to a close, only one other game going on, but activity on each and every field here at 9:18 a.m. on a Saturday morning. The payoff pitch once again. Laced out toward right, but caught a beautiful grab out in right field. But Kansas adds 5. We go to the bottom of the second. Jayhawks 6, Tigers 3. So back here for the bottom of the second, Max Rosencrans looking for a bit of a better inning here. The first offering here. Outside, ball 1. So the Tigers having to play from behind once again here. As the 1-0 catches the top of the zone for strike 1. We talked earlier about Rosencrans' last start against the Wildcats of Kansas State, and he allowed 4 in the first inning, but found his groove afterward as that's popping foul. Orloff going over. Will he be able to make the play? No, just out of play. After the rough first inning, he went 4 shutout to follow it, and he'll look to do the same today against LSU. The 1-2. Left for ball 2. So back with the top of the order, it's Marcus Campbell leading us off. The 2-2. Popped up, hooking foul. Orloff calls everybody off and makes the grab. Had to track back for that one a little bit, but he hauls it in, no problem. And there's one down here in the bottom of the second. And as you might have heard Mike Ray just say, Shrek hauling it in over at first. That was a fun topic of discussion during last night's game. First offering here moves just inside for ball 1. As the season progresses, learning more nicknames, having a good time out here. Always a joy to do some baseball games as that's left outside 2-0. And by the way, if you are unable to see the scoreboard, you might just want to adjust the viewing ratio of whatever you're watching on. As that's knocked out toward the gap, that's going to drop in for a base hit. A one-out single here, and there's a man aboard here for the Tigers in the second. So Kansas will look to turn two with that middle infield duo of McGovern and Wright. So Rosencrans will look to stay calm and composed. The birthday boy last week, the big 2-1 for him, as that's left up high for ball one. We got to celebrate him, always a fun time, hanging out. Now he's here to try and shut down the Tiger offense. The 1-0. Runner tucks and goes. Called strike one and no throw down. So Preston Ockman swiping second. And there's a runner sitting, I guess, to be 180 feet away. You know, you listen to a ball game, they say there's a man on third sitting 90 feet away. So I guess in this case it'd be 180. As that's fouled back for strike number two. Just stabbing at it there is Caleb Pepper. Marshall behind the plate for the Jayhawks got a little bit of work in last night. He was the catcher for the entirety of that Swing It Hitters Challenge. Getting the legs worked out as that's outside ball two. Now today behind the plate for the first of two games for Kansas today. The final day of pool play here in Sterlington. They'll take on Parker University. That'll get underway around 11 a.m. Central Time as Rosencrans steps off and takes a look back at second. Parker University out of Dallas, we actually found out last night that they don't have any athletics. Obviously they have a club baseball team, but no school-sponsored athletic programs. As here's the 2-2, runner tucks for third. That's lined out toward right field. Could be trouble for the Tigers. That's corralled. Throw to second. In time to get him. Heads up play in the outfield, and the Jayhawks turn two. LSU leaves a man at second, and it's a donut for Max Rosencrans. We go to the third. 6-3 Jayhawks. So welcome back to the friendly confines of the Sterlington Sports Complex, as Tyler Bermundo might say. Top of the third here. 6-3 in favor of the visitors. And Kansas will look to add on to that. It'll be Mr. President himself. What am I saying? Mr. President himself, Shayton Wright. And the first pitch is called for strike one. So Wright, an anchor of this Jayhawk infield. and he'll look to drive in another base hit. Singled his first time up as he checked his swing there, and the count goes even at 1. Right, checked his swing and had that heads-up base running to make his way to second on a ball line right back up the middle last time up. As that's left up high, 2-1. Laying off the high cheese like he's lactose intolerant. As that's called for strike 2. Might have just caught that high outside corner. And the count goes even, 2-2. Outside, count goes full, 3-2. As the sun trying to find its way out here. Seeing some breaks of blue sky in the area. The full count offering in the dirt. And a big time bat flip from Shayton right there. Pimping a walk, I like it. Wright makes his way aboard. And there's a man on here for Charlie Marshall. Marshall on a tear right now. Ice water in his veins, it seems like. Every time he steps up in a spot to tie the game or give Kansas the lead, he delivers. Fouls the first pitch back. So the chatter picking up from both dugouts here. LSU trying to work around the early walk. And Marshall's going to send that one towards center field, where it'll be caught. So 1 down now after the fly out to center field. Wright stays put at first, and that'll bring up the bottom of the order with Ryan Camacho. Camacho, another hitter towards the bottom of the order to pick up a base hit. The bottom part of this Kansas order coming up big this afternoon. I keep saying afternoon. It is still 9:30 a.m. But the bottom of this Jayhawk order coming up big this morning. Driving in runs and giving them the 6-3 lead they hold. First pitch to Camacho is sent the other way through the gap. A seeing eye single for Ryan Camacho. And there's 2 aboard. And the dugout will show Camacho some of that California love. So the McGovernor coming up here. Top of the morning to him. And we'll see if he wishes top of the morning to this LSU pitching staff. First offering. Left for strike 1. Outside, and we're even Steven in the count, 1-1. The struggle so far for the Tigers has been that command out of both pitchers. Neither one able to consistently locate, as that's checked for strike 2. Now there's a good pitch, and that'll make the count 1-2. So here in a 1-2 count. He loops it foul, and that's going to go out of play. So new life here for the top of the order for Kansas with 1 down. As McGovern will look to drive in right, sitting on second. And he's got to step off. And they're going to meet once again. Shayton Wright discombobulating this Tigers pitching staff out on second base. There's a big word. There's your Trevor Butler vocabulary word of the day. Even when I'm not at school, always learning. I'm sure my parents are watching. I'm sure they're oh so proud of my academic pursuits here on a Saturday morning. as that's going to be fouled off again. Ooh, hello. That one goes bouncing off of a dugout on the other field. Jumping a little bit. So the 1-2 once again to McGovern. And he can't connect. Got him. Struck him out, and there's 2 away. So Tyler Bermundo with 2 outs. Looking to step up and tack on to this Jayhawk lead. That's laced toward right field. Hit pretty well. He's going to flip the bat. And the Iron Dome drives in 3. Tyler Bermundo, how do you do? A 3-run jack. And it's 9-3 to the visitors from Lawrence. Goodness me, he knew it off the bat. It was like he was hitting slow pitch softball once again. Tyler Bermundo triples this one up. It's 9-3 Kansas. Bermundo jumped all over that one. Are you kidding me? Out to the parking lot. Look out below and get ready to call safe light because someone's windshield might just be gone. So Alex Raylene now will look to follow that up as he swings through that for strike 1. And foul back, strike 2. You know, we found out the hard way while playing intramural softball that you do not pitch to Tyler Bermundo. He and I spent an evening calculating his WAR as that's going to drop in. And Alex Raylene has himself a base hit. We spent the evening calculating his WAR. Let's just say it was absurdly high for a 5-game softball season. We found out the hard way playing against him that you do not pitch to that man, and evidently the Bayou Bengals finding out the same thing today. As Alex Orloff will have a chance. Alex Orloff, my apologies. Justin Orloff. Big Shrek will have an opportunity to keep things going. Hello. He tried to buzz the tower. That goes off the noggin. Orloff wearing one. And evidently, not big fans of DreamWorks out there in Baton Rouge as they plunk Shrek and send him to first. And you hear him saying, get the blue 10 up, check on him. Shrek's aura, just too much. And the big fella's going to take a walk on down to first. So another meeting on the mound here for the Tigers. And we'll see what they decide. Peter Duma here with an opportunity. And they'll keep things going. So no break here as LSU leaves the same pitcher in. The top third of a 9-3 ball game here. Kansas has come to life here in the last 2 innings after falling in that 3-1 hole. So Peter Duma now with an opportunity to keep things rolling. Outside ball 1. Duma the 1-0 here. Hooking foul. So the count even 1-1. Sticks to sticks here, the 1-1 count to number 11. That works out pretty well. He can't connect, strike two. So Duma having to fight back here behind 1-2 in the count. And he'll call time real quick. Icing the pitcher here is Duma. At least that's what he'd tell you he's trying to do. Stepping back in and re-engaging here with 1-2. He leaves that one in the dirt. A real worm burner there, and it's 2-2. And he can't connect. But the Jayhawks plate another three off the bat of the Iron Dome. We head to the bottom of the third. 9-3 Kansas. So back here for the bottom of the third, in a game that has all of a sudden gotten blown open. It's 9-3 Kansas. And Max Rosencrantz will look to hang another donut. First offering here. Swung through, strike one. You know, whenever I talk about donuts, all I can picture is Homer Simpson just going, donut. And then it makes me hungry, I can't lie. Foul back, and it skips off the mask of Marshall. I was in Orlando earlier this season, found out that at Universal they have one of those giant pink Simpsons donuts. Did enjoy that with one of my buddies from home. So that's what I picture. That's gonna run inside and he's gonna wear it. So LSU leads us off with a man aboard. Had a delightful hotel breakfast this morning. Had a waffle and some sausage, you know. The breakfast of champions. There's that, I believe it's a Hilton commercial maybe, with Gus Johnson, one of my favorite announcers. You know, people ask me as an announcer, as a broadcaster, you know, who do you look up to? Who do you model your game after? And I mean, there's a lot of people. You watch stuff, you pick things up. As that's going to run all the way to the backstop, Marshall decides to eat it. And it's a runner in scoring position here for the Tigers after only a handful of pitches here in the bottom of the third. But to say, you know, who do you look up to? Who do you model your game after? And you know, there's a lot of people. You watch games, you pick up on things, you listen to what you like, and you start doing that. I've picked up things from in-stadium announcers, as that's up high for ball 2. Picked some stuff up from announcers at stadiums, whether it be at Funko Field in Everett, Washington, home of the Aqua Sox, or going to games here in Lawrence, listening to guys like Brian Haney, as that's up high for ball 3. So a 3-0 count here, with nobody out and a runner sitting on second. One of the guys that I do really look up to and who I've always loved listening to is Gus Johnson. I think I saw something talking about how he's just a guy. That's outside for ball 4. Talking about how Gus Johnson's just a guy who simply gets exciting watching the game of football take place. And honestly, that's pretty awesome. And that's what you aspire to be as a broadcaster, somebody who can bring some excitement in the big moments and can just be entertaining to listen to, and somebody that people want to tune in and hear, whether that be calling Ohio State, Michigan for hundreds of millions of viewers, or calling Wood Wars for 19 people. And shout out to all 19 of you guys, wherever you may be, whether it's back home in Lawrence tuning in as that swung through for strike 1, whether that's back home in Lawrence or out in the Pacific Northwest. I know some of my family in Snohomish tuned in watching this one, even though it's only 7:45 a.m. A little baseball and breakfast out in the PNW. As that'll be called strike 2. And Rosencrantz quickly ahead 0-2 here in the count. But no, broadcasting is fun. I love it. I love doing it. Love getting the opportunity to come sit out on a nice afternoon like this, as that's hooking foul. Marshall will go over, but it's out of play. I love sitting out on a beautiful morning like this, waiting for the sun to come out, watching some baseball, getting to sit back here and banter with all of you guys. There's a really famous video of former Cincinnati Red Joey Votto just talking about why he loves the game of baseball. And people ask me, what's your favorite sport to do? You like doing football, you like doing basketball, and everything is great. You take every opportunity you can in this business, but man, do I love the game of baseball. It's just so much fun. It's the children's game. I talked about it last night. You can stop playing at 15, you can stop playing at 40. But I don't know how you can't love baseball, Sounds cliche to say it, but Moneyball, one of my favorite movies ever. How can you not be romantic about the game of baseball? Even sitting out here in a 9-3 ball game, I'm just giddy every time I come to the park as Rosencrantz steps off and takes a look back at second. That's taken for ball 2. And the count goes even, 2-2. The last couple of years at home in Seattle, I've had the opportunity to go to some opening day ball games for the Seattle Mariners. I've gone to the last 2 opening day games. As that'll range inside, and the count goes full, 3-2. Rosencrantz looking to avoid walking them loaded here. Looking to find some sort of out here to stave off the Tigers. The payoff pitch. Got him, strike 3. Took a big-time hack at it, but he can't connect. Oh, it sounds like my dad also had sausage and waffles for breakfast. A real breakfast of champions right there. You gotta love it. But no, like I was saying, I've had the opportunity to go to the last 2 opening days for the Seattle Mariners, and I remember texting my mom when I got to the ballpark last year to watch them take on Boston in another Tyler O'Neill opening day masterclass. There's quite the throw, but it won't be in time. Charlie Marshall from a knee sidearms that one in. But both runners moving up. Just like last night, I feel like every time I start telling a story, something very exciting happens out on the field, and I've got to briefly pause it. As here's the 1-0 from Rosencrantz. Ooh, hello, that'll get behind him. Here comes the throw to the plate. And they're going to opt not to, so a run will score. And the Tigers get one back. It's 9-4 now. And man, I sure hope this game gets back to 9-5. That way I can make my Dolly Parton joke again. Even though I already made it back in the first inning. When you get good material, sometimes you got to reuse it. Why not? Once again, as I was saying, I remember texting my mom just being like, man, I'm just happy to be here. I'm just happy baseball's back, and obviously now we've entered the off season. Didn't particularly care for either team in the World Series. That moves outside, and it's 3-0. I didn't particularly love either team competing in the Fall Classic. Wasn't too upset to see the Dodgers winning. Didn't mind that. Grew up an Astros fan. Got to hello. That's gonna range inside, and he's gonna wear one. So runners on the corners here with one out, and that'll bring Mike Ray out of the dugout to have a chat with Max Rosencrans. We'll take a quick break. 9-4 Kansas. So we are back, and now Trey Barksdale has an opportunity to help LSU come rally back into this game. They've got him in a pickle, but no throw. And Jardine will swipe second here. So now 2 ducks on the pond for Trey Barksdale. Probably a heads-up play there from Orloff, not to throw down, as the man on third was ready to take off. So Rosencrans steps back on, getting ready to deal with Barksdale. A 9-4 ball game here in the bottom of the third. And here's the first offering from Rosencrans. Called ball 1. The 1-0 swung through, and the count goes even, 1-1. Rosencrans looking to work around the traffic and find his way out of a jam. That's going to get behind him. A good play from Marshall to corral it. And we go to 2-1. And interestingly enough, so we have a 2-hour and 15-minute time limit on these games, which means 10:45 would be the cap. It's already 9:50. This game really dragging along. So we'll see if that becomes a factor. Runner fiend like he was bolting for home, but it's taken inside for strike 2, and the count goes even, 2-2. And if you're sitting at home getting ready to watch this game thinking, man, I hope he says fiend, there you go. Club baseball got me feeling like Travis Scott as that's taken inside for ball 3. So the base is loaded. First is open, but Rosencrans will look to avoid putting a man there. A full count offering here from Rosencrans to Barksdale. Outside, and he walks unloaded. The Tigers load him up with 1 down. And LSU will have a chance to bring themselves right back into this one. As the sun has come out, it is getting a little bit lighter here. I'm actually going to pop up real quick and adjust the camera. That way you guys at home can see the first offering is going to get by, but nobody goes. It's about as good as we can get, as Rosencrans falling behind 1-0 here in the count. outside, 2-0. So behind 2-0 in the count here with nowhere to put the hitter. And that's going to get by. Once again, nobody goes home, but it's 3-0. Rosencrantz trying to find a way out of this one. We'll see what he can do. The backstop here in Sterlington providing some weird bounces and just making it hard for the runner from third to judge whether he should bolt for home or not. It's worked out a couple times here for LSU, but being a little bit precautious here with one out, you don't want to put yourself in a bad spot. The 3-0. And that'll walk in a run. So the bases stay loaded, and LSU brings another one around. It's 9-5, and now Kansas will come out and have a chat. We'll take a break. 9-5 Jayhawks. So we are back, and back to the top of the order with only one away. A new haircut into this one for the Jayhawks. And we'll see if they can work their way out of jam here. So Cam Foltz in to try and escape this bases loaded one out jam. His first offering is skied. Orloff goes over, and Schreck makes the grab. One pitch, one out. LSU trying to find a way back into this one. The first offering from Foltz. Ooh, that'll range in and get him. That didn't feel good, and that'll bring another run around to score. He wears it and makes this a 9-6 ball game. LSU working their way back into it. So with two down and the bases loaded, Kansas trying to find a way out of this frame, still holding on to a 3-run lead. As that swung through for strike one. The Jayhawks had looked to blow it open here after the top of the third, but LSU rallying right back into this one. And we've certainly got ourselves a game. And now the go-ahead run here in the bottom of the third sitting at the plate. The 0-1 from Foltz. Called strike two. And Cam Foltz will look to find a way out of the inning here. Up high. And it moves to 1-2. LSU able to get one back here. Caleb Pepper looking to unload on one. Perhaps even do what Bermundo did in the top of the third. As that's called for strike three. LSU gets three back, but they leave them loaded. To the fourth we go. 9-6 Kansas. So top four here in Sterlington. Kansas looking to re-extend that lead. It got cut right back down to 3. McDonald leaves the first pitch on the table for strike one. The Jayhawk dugout fired up as McDonald fouls that one back. Hello. Looks like it went off the mask of the catcher, and that'll make it an 0-2 count here. It looks like it went off the umpire as well, so he'll take a second and regroup, and he appears to be A-okay. So McDonald steps back in, facing an 0-2 count here in the top of the fourth. 7 innings or 2 hours and 15 minutes, and right now it looks like it might be the latter. As that one stayed up high for ball one. Already about an hour and a half, 93 minutes into this game. As that's outside, ball 2, and we go even. McDonald trying to work his way back from the 0-2 hole. We'll see if he can storm all the way back and get a board here. The double-double is drilled out towards shallow left center field. The shortstop goes back and hauls it in. And there's one down. So one down for Shayton Wright. Mr. President has been able to get aboard here early. We'll see if he can continue his good day here in his third at bat of the afternoon. His first offering is left in the dirt for ball 1. As that's up high and it's 2-0. Everybody knows Shayton Wright's Diamond Dynasty card has 99 vision. He does not swing at bad pitches. And he's had 2-0 here. That one's called for strike 1. That might just drop his rating down to 98. So the 2-1 here to Wright is hooking foul. It'll stay in the field of play and be corralled. He didn't love that one. But there's 2 down here in the top of the 4th. So a quick 2 outs, and now Charlie Marshall will look to get something going, get a little bit of offensive production out of this 4th inning for Kansas. First offering to Marshall. Ooh, hello. Called strike 1. It pushed him back just a little bit. Tried to sell that, but he was unable to. And it's 0-1. Big time hack at the second offering, but he swings right through it for strike 2. And LSU will look to hang a donut of their own here in the top of the 4th. We'll see if they can get out of it. Marshall will look to fight. He's got to defend here. That bounces in the dirt for ball 1. Baseball, not golf. One of the calls from the Kansas dugout. As Marshall hooks that one foul. Marshall drives that one the other way over toward third, corralled. Here comes the throw to first. He's off the bag. Charlie Marshall takes advantage of the bad throw and makes his way down the first base line. He's aboard with 2 down. So Ryan Camacho now will look to make the Tigers pay for their errors. Camacho stepping in. He's got 2 singles to that right side gap. We'll see if he's able to make him pay again. Pulling everything. And here in a lefty-lefty matchup, he'll take a hack at the first pitch. Looks like it might have bounced off of him. He steps back in here on a pitch that moved inside, takes a big-time hack, but he couldn't connect. Swings through again for strike 2. Camacho coming out, looking for a base hit. And he rung him up. Kansas leaves a man at first. We head to the bottom of the 4th, still 9-6. So back here for the bottom of the fourth, LSU looking to use the shutout inning just thrown as some momentum to try and charge back into this one. And it does look like the time limit could become a problem, as that's outside for ball one. As that's left up high, ball two. A close spot on that one. Might have just been high, and that's what the umpire will tell Foltz. The 2-0. This one cracked out toward the gap, ranging over. Can't make the grab. Nearly made the grab and right, but he couldn't hang on. And there's a man aboard to start things off for the Tigers. As that ranges inside for ball one. So LSU looking to continue mounting a comeback here after falling behind 9-3 early. That's cracked the other way, just over the glove of Duma. Another base hit for the Tigers. And there's two aboard here with nobody away. So James Halligan will step in here to take some cuts with an opportunity to tie this game. He represents the tying runner. As that's called for strike one. Still nobody out here in the fourth. As that's fouled back and the count goes 0-2. The 0-2. Up high for ball one. So now in a 1-2 count, the Jayhawks looking to pick up their first out of the frame, and we're going to call time. As that's called ball two. Now the 2-2. Called ball three. And the count goes full. So a big time 3-2 right here. And he walked him. That'll load him up. And with nobody out, the go-ahead run comes to the plate here for LSU. So a lot of very close pitches in that last at-bat. We'll see if Foltz can regroup a little bit as that's swung through for strike one. That's hit pretty well. Camacho going back. It's off the wall. One run around to score with these. Here comes two. Green light stays on. Throw to the plate. Oh, he bobbled it. A bases clearing double. And all of a sudden, the Tigers have come all the way back to tie this game. And Ryan Camacho down in left field. We'll take a break. So back here in a game that has all of a sudden become all square. 9 apiece between Kansas and LSU with nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth, as that's up high for ball number 1. LSU with all the momentum right now, as that's left just inside. Another close one for ball 2. Swung through, strike 1. And the Jayhawks searching for a way out of this inning. It has not gone the way they wanted. Up high, and it's 3-1. A hitter's count here to Barksdale. The 3-1. Popped up, ranging over, coming on in, and making the grab. There's one down. Eli Greenfield taking over out in right field. After Camacho's injury, we sure hope he's okay. You never want to see that. But Greenfield now out in left after catching last night. And he comes on and makes the grab. There's one away. Up high for ball 1. making the grab, and there's 2 down, no tag. So Kansas now just looking to find a way out of the inning here. Has not gone according to plan for the visitors from Lawrence. As that's called strike 1. So the 0-1 here to the top of the order, Marcus Campbell. Called strike 2. And the Jayhawks will strike away from getting out of it. Hooking foul. And we stay 0-2 now here in the bottom of the 4th. Approaching the 2-hour mark here pretty quickly. We may have one more inning of baseball. We'll see what happens. As that's up high for ball 1. Foltz trying to find a way out of the inning. The 1-2. Is laced out into left. Here comes a run around to score, and LSU has come charging all the way back to take the lead. It's 10-9 in favor of the Tigers. And it's deja vu all over again for the Kansas Jayhawks, just like the championship game last year. And the LSU faithful fired up as they've come storming all the way back. 7 unanswered runs for the Tigers. Picked to first in time to get him. Kansas gets out of the inning, but LSU plates 4 and takes the lead. It's 10-9 Tigers as we head to the 5th. Our video briefly went out. That is very bright. Hello. But Owen McGovern at the top of the Jayhawk order. Look to get them back in this game. First pitch swinging, and that's going to drop in. Owen McGovern, a base hit single. And we're going to get the video all readjusted as best as we can. It's still looking a little bright, but that'll put a man on first here to start us off. First pitch to Bermundo, driven well, but caught. A good grab, and there's one down. So 1 on, 1 gone here in the top of the 5th. Alex Raylan looking to drive the run in from first. And he can't connect. Raylan looking for something. He drives it but foul. So yeah, apologies for the brightness. The camera unfortunately does not process light very well, and now that it's bright outside, it's very hard to see because it just doesn't darken itself enough. It's a little odd. Raylan could be trouble. Throw to second, and no throw to first. So they nab him at second. They're really grounding into a double play, and there's 2 down. So here comes Shrek, Justin Orloff, in a big spot here for the Jayhawks. And we'll take a quick break, it looks like, because we get a few baseballs out there. And LSU trying to slow things down and waste some time here. Got about 15 minutes left. So Orloff stepping up, the tying run sitting on first. Kansas needing a big swing from the first baseman. As that's up high for ball 1, he leaves it be. Outside, and it's 2-0. No, they called it a strike. A close pitch, and they give the benefit of the doubt to the Tigers. We move to 1-1 here. Orloff popped it up on the infield and caught. So we head to the bottom of the 5th. Still 10-9 LSU. So back here for the bottom of the fifth, LSU just trying to waste time now, trying to run out this clock. And Kolditz trying to do his best Mark Burley impression here. Pitching fast and trying to speed run through this inning. He's quickly ahead 0-2 on the first batter. And that's foul back. So the 0-2 fouled off as the Tigers try to stay alive here. That's grounded over toward Orloff. He covers and makes the play. There's one down. And Danny Kolditz trying to work with some pace here, fighting the clock right now. So one down here in the fifth. Kolditz starting things off with a strike here to his second batter. Up high and the count even at 1. So Caleb Pepper looking to slow things down. That's called for strike 2. Chopped over towards second, right makes the play. Underhand flip to first, and there's 2 down. Kansas looking to find a way out of the inning and get themselves one more chance to try and win this ball game. First pitch swinging, foul back. Right to us, as a matter of fact. And it's 0-1. That's left outside for ball 1, and the count goes back to even. Things getting intense here in Sterlington. Kansas fighting to pick up one more inning of work. 1-1. Outside 2-1. Danny Kolditz, they call him the Diesel for a reason, and he's trying to gas up some of these pitches and get out of it. The 2-1. Hit the other way, through the gap, base hit. And with 2 outs, LSU picks up a base runner. Ten minutes left on that clock. .45, we'll see this one expire unless Kansas can find a way back into it. Down low, ball 1. Swung through, can't connect for strike 1. Looks like it sounded like it might have been fouled back, actually. Count back to even, 1-1 here. As that's chopped foul. And it's 1-2 now. Skied out towards center. Bermuda going back and making the grab. We head to what might just be the final inning here. Kansas needs to find a run. To the 6th we go. So we are back here for the 6th. Things getting loud. Both teams fired up. It'll be Peter Duma to lead us off for the Jayhawks. First pitch called strike 1. This will be the final inning of play. If Kansas can tie this game or take the lead, we'll go into the bottom of the 6th. If not, the Tigers will win it. Duma swings, popped foul, ranging over, and making the grab. There's one away. So Ben McDonald in the bottom of the order will have to come up big once again. They've been coming up big all day. Do they have one more rally in them? The first offering to McDonald. Outside, ball 1. In the dirt, ball 2. Now, I'm not sure what the schedule will look like for the rest of the day. We're supposed to get things started against Parker at 11 o'clock, but that quick turnaround time may not happen. If it does, as McDonald drives that down the line, he's going to dig around for 2. Ben McDonald, an extra base hit to start things off. And the tying run is aboard with one away here in the 9th. I'm sorry, the 6th. I'm so used to a 9-inning ball game. Ben McDonald. And Nick Griffin will take over. Mr. President himself, Shayton right now with an opportunity to tie this ball game. Like I was saying, not sure what the schedule will look like for the rest of the afternoon, should this game keep on going. I'm not sure whether the whether the camera will have enough battery. Unfortunately, even though it was fully charged at the start of this game, the camera I used dies quite quick as Wright swings at the first pitch and hooks it foul. Nevertheless, we'll figure out some way to get a broadcast going. We may have to connect to my phone and prop that up or something of that nature. But no matter what happens, we'll figure something out. The 0-1 is hit the other way. Will it sit down? A great grab, and they're going to get him hung up. A double play, and that's going to end it. LSU comes all the way back and wins this one 10-9. That'll do it